And welcome back to our series all about starting school. So we started this last week, and every Friday I'm going to be posting a little video with some ideas of ways that you can help your little one for starting school in September. So we are in the same boat. Mason will be starting school this September.
In December.
September.
And I've got this book about starting school and it's my what shall I read it to them?
That's okay. We don't need to read it to them, but so last week I suggested that maybe you started a collection of books all about starting school, because it's a really great way of introducing conversations.
Can you see that ladybird?
Yeah. Super. Can we show this one? So we've started our collection. We've ordered a few online and from the library. And this is the Topsy and Tim Start School, and this is one. So
we watched Topsy and Tim on TV.
On TV. So we're going to have a few books, and you don't need to read them every night, but just every so often. Those nights when you get into bed and you grab a story, it's maybe nice to choose one of the starting school ones and have a little conversation. What's really nice about this one, and we've also read this one this week, the Janet and Alan Alberg one, is that they go through the school day, so it shares lots of scenarios.
School.
Good boy. All about starting school. So we've just started to read those.
Can you see these two off? That's it. I just need to do it off.
Makes a ooh sound, doesn't it?
Ooh.
Ooh. When your teeth two are like that, it's a ooh.
It's a off.
Makes a ooh. Thank you. Okay.
My name is called Mason.
It is. And so you may have started with your books. Don't worry if you haven't. You've still got plenty of time. We've got lots of time. We're going to be doing lots of different things before they start. Okay, I'm going to let you go now because we've done the books. Thank you, Mace. Always fun when he wants to join in. So this week I wanted to talk to you. Well, I wanted to give you a little bit of reassurance because you may start seeing lots of different things about being school ready. And I'm just coming on here really just to give you a little bit of reassurance that being school ready doesn't mean about having your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Great if your children are starting to take an interest in them and talk about them, and maybe they're having a go at writing them or recognising them when you're out and about. But if they're not, please don't panic and please don't worry. And that's all I wanted to say really, is that it's really easy to think with it from now until September that you need to cram in that learning, tracing their name, getting the numbers, reciting the alphabet, when actually that's not the case. And there are far more ways, and equally as important ways, that we can support our children to prepare for school. We almost have the numbers and the alphabet on a pedestal, and this is a target our children need to get to. When they're going to get those at school, they will come. There's no rush for them, and actually there are other ways we need to prepare our children emotionally, and with social skills and independent skills and all those different things. So there's lots more about starting school just than the letters of the alphabet and the numbers to 20. So I hope that reassures you. Like I said, great if your child is doing those and taking an interest in those, but please, equally, it's not as simple. It's not something to worry about, and please don't start cramming it in, because as well as I do, as soon as you start trying to sit a child down and getting them to write it out or trace things or putting any sort of pressure on them, children sort of freeze up and they will almost go the other way and not want to do it at all. So it's all about, if you do want to do any numbers and letters and things, do it in playful situations, lots of practice, lots of exploring and experimenting, but not sat pen to paper writing them out and tracing them, because not a big fan of that. But we will be doing more of that over the next few weeks. So what I wanted to talk about this week was about our children's independent skills. You may have noticed that your little one at the moment, we're certainly going through it at the moment, they have a thing about, stop mummy, I want to do it, let me do it. And they're becoming quite independent. and choosing to do things for themselves. Now, I know, particularly when they're saying about wanting to put the coat on themselves or the shoes, and it can take 15 minutes longer and you get everywhere 15 minutes later. But it is about really encouraging them and praising them and just being patient, because those independent skills are really, they're really worth building up and supporting and encouraging them to do. So if they are showing those signs of wanting to become independent, encourage it, praise them for it, and stand nearby and be on hand to help when they need it. But try not to jump in. Try and let them do it. If it's doing up their shoes, they may be doing it wrong, but just let them explore and play with it. And it could be independent skills in lots of different ways. So it could be about taking responsibility for their toys and starting to tidy up after themselves and things like that, because they will be expected to do little bits of that at school. It may be their independence of getting dressed or eating, all those sorts of things. Excuse me. I would just worth noticing and encouraging your child to be a little bit more independent. Now, granted, they are 4, almost 5. So it's going to be independent to a point. They're not going to be bringing you a cup of tea in bed just yet, or breakfast in bed. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But we're not quite there yet. But just those little bits when they are showing signs of being independent, really encourage it, because it's a life skill, isn't it? And it's going to be needed once they start school. So perhaps this week you can start thinking about that and maybe giving your child some little challenges. The challenge that we've been doing at the moment is for Mason to put his pants on his own. Just those little things, not fully getting dressed, but I wonder, do you think you could go in your bedroom and find some pants and put them on all by yourself? That would be amazing. And it's all about small steps. We've got plenty of time until September, but it's just giving that a little bit of independence, really. And when they do it, over the top, use all your dramatic skills and that is fantastic. I'm so proud of you. You've done so well. I can see that you've tried really hard. All those sorts of things can be really beneficial to our children. So yeah, just have a little think. Maybe when they finish their meal, can they take their plate over by the sink? That sort of thing. I'm going to be going into more detail about eating and getting dressed and things on their own. But it's those independent skills. We really want to encourage them. And don't forget to use the word independent with them. It's a lovely long word. But if you start to use it and show that you value it, and they will begin to understand it and see why it's really beneficial. So I hope that helps. Let me know how you get on this week. Let me know how you're getting on with your book collection as well, because they are really useful. You don't need all of them on the book list, just 2 or 3 would be fine. And yeah, we will be covering names and the alphabet and numbers at a point, but just remember what I said. Don't put pressure on yourself, and don't put pressure on your children either. It will come. All right. Thank you very much. Happy playing, and I will see you next Friday for more tips for starting school.